Hello guys, welcome back to another video. As always, today we're back with another Premier League predictions video. I'm feeling much better this week. The reason why there wasn't one last week was because I wasn't feeling very well. However, my plea was finally answered and I got some comments of people predicting their scores, so I just want to give a quick few shout outs. First and foremost, from Transylvania, we had a guy called Elod Sizik. Oh no. Izod's... Okay, I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce this name, so we're going to go with Google Translate. Thank you, because you're the first person to ever comment your predictions and it means a lot to me. I love looking through, reading your predictions. You didn't do too badly. Roberto the Hornet and Shishay Kazzetti as well were two other people who commented their predictions, so thank you very much. Obviously, I've shouted you guys out as a thank you. Thank you so much, guys, honestly, for commenting. It means so much to me, and I love reading through your predictions and checking up on them as the week goes on. Didn't do too badly, but there are a few of you guys who predicted Tottenham wins against Chelsea, which obviously didn't happen. That was a couple of weeks ago, though. Let's get into this week's fixtures. Right, guys, I've bottled it again. I forgot to go through my predictions from last video and update you guys with the score. Probably once again for the best because I had an absolute meltdown. Really not good. This is once again my worst performance yet. So far we've started off well and we've got further and further down. I've got 14 points out of 50 and overall just had a really bad week. 6 of the 10 games I got the wrong result. I was really saved by the 3-1 Watford game. That game just gave me some credibility for this game week. The Man City game I don't think a lot of people would have predicted, but overall it was an absolutely shocking week. The less said about it, the better. Let's just get on with the video. Starting off with the first game, we have got Manchester United at home to Everton, and these two teams are both quite evenly matched, I feel, going into this. Obviously, Manchester United with the better squad, but not quite as good a form. Everton with a slightly worse squad than Manchester United, however, their form has been fantastic in this season. Looking at their head-to-head in their last 5 games against each other, they've both won a piece and drawn the rest. So, this game is all for the taking. Aside from both teams losing against Aston Villa this season, they are both unbeaten, and they find themselves in 4th and 5th position, emphasising again just how close this fixture is. I do think that Manchester United need to turn it on. I think they're going to find a way, and I think that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to make the difference. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Manchester United. I think they're going to silence a lot of doubters, and what you tend to find with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is when there are questions being asked, that's when his team starts to turn it on, and I believe that they're going to do so against a defensively robust team in Everton. Up next, we move into the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and we have got Burnley versus Norwich. 19th versus 20th. It's a relegation 6-pointer early into the season, so these 3 points are going to be massive. These teams have only ever played each other twice in the Premier League, and Burnley have won both of those games, which holds them in good stead for this fixture. Norwich have lost all of their games this season and overall just look very lacklustre, not quite up to scratch for this division. Burnley obviously got a big result against Leicester in their last game, which I think is going to help them going into this match. I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals in this one, and I think Burnley will just about edge it. I'm going to go for 1-0 to Burnley. The next 3 o'clock kickoff that we're going to move into is Southampton versus Chelsea. Southampton have proven to be a bogey team for Chelsea in the last few games. Chelsea haven't actually beaten Southampton in our last 3 meetings in the Premier League. And Chelsea have obviously suffered 2 defeats in their last 2 games, both 1-0 losses against Manchester City and the midweek loss against Juventus, which I do think is going to hurt them coming into this game. However, this is going to be a crucial game for Thomas Tuchel to try and tweak things and try and get a good result against a team that we really should be beating. We've built up a bit of a reputation for sticking men behind the ball, and we do defend very well and tend to shut out the big teams, obviously not doing so in our last 2 games. However, I think that we're going to see a more attacking emphasis in this game to try and silence some doubters, and I think we're going to run away with it. I do believe Chelsea are going to win this one fairly comfortably as a result of that, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 win. I'm aware that Southampton have got some good attacking threats in Che Adams and in Adam Armstrong, but I don't think that it's going to be enough to threaten that Chelsea defence. Moving on into the next game, we have got Leeds at home to Watford. Now, these two teams haven't played each other in the top flight since 2000, Leeds winning both games that season. And sticking to Leeds, they really haven't got their season going yet. They find themselves in 18th place and just haven't looked as convincing as they did last season. The attacking domination that they had last season hasn't been that convincing this campaign, and ultimately they suffered as a result for it. Watford, on the other hand, do find themselves being one of the better of the promoted sides and find themselves in 12th place, picking up a couple of good results in their last 2 games. Leeds need to turn it on, and there will be a bit of bit biased going into this, obviously, as my dad is a Leeds United fan. I do think that they're going to get a good result. I don't think it's going to be overly convincing, but I think that they're going to edge it 2-1. On to the next game now. We've got Wolves at home to Newcastle, and this is another game where we find two teams who are struggling for form, hoping to pick up some points and kickstart their season. Newcastle have actually yet to win in the Premier League this season, and looking at their last 5 games, they've drawn them all 1-1. So it would be a pretty safe bet to go for a 1-1 draw here. However, this season, despite not picking up the results, Wolves have looked very good. Against Tottenham especially, that one sticks out in my mind as being a game where they dominated but just didn't get the result that they really deserved. The win against Southampton and having Jimenez back on the score sheet, I'm sure will be a huge lift for the players at that club, and I do think that they're going to win. I think it's going to be more convincing than the game against Southampton, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Wolves. Newcastle look like a club in disarray at the moment, and despite having Alan Saint-Maximin in good form, I don't think that's going to be enough to break down the Wolves defence. The 5:30 kickoff on Saturday is a very good game. It is Brighton and Hove Albion at home to Arsenal. Arsenal have managed to pick up some decent form in their last few games, winning all 3, including the most recent, a 3-0 thrashing at home to Tottenham. Brighton, on the other hand, are showing that they're not missing the absence of Ben White, and they find themselves in 6th place after an impressive start to this season. They've looked defensively sound and a lot more clinical than they were last season, averaging less than a goal conceded a game and averaging just over a goal every single game. Do I think it's going to be enough to beat Arsenal? I don't, and I do think that they're going to still get a decent result from this, but I don't think that they're going to win. I do see this being a very closely fought fixture, however I can't see it ending in anything other than a draw, and I'm going to go for Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Arsenal 1. Moving on into the Sunday games now, we've got Crystal Palace at home to Leicester. Leicester really struggling so far this season to pick up some decent results, managing to just about scrape a 2-2 draw in their last game against Burnley, who is a team that they really should be beating. And that's been the story of their season so far. They're games that they should be winning that they're just not having the clinical edge over. Crystal Palace, on the other hand, have slowly grown better and better as the seasons progress. However, they still find themselves in 15th place, and they're going to want to be trying to push up the table and move higher from that and sustain their reputation as being a Premier League club. This fixture is going to be really one that depends on who turns up on the day. I do think that they are going to have the quality to turn it on and kickstart their season. I think this is going to be the game for them to do it, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Leicester. Selhurst Park is not going to be a fun place for them to play, but I do believe that they will get the result. They're going to get the 3 points, and hopefully for them, really give them a boost to start getting some points and move higher up the table where they realistically should be. Right guys, just want to take a moment as always to say, if you've enjoyed the video so far, please like, please subscribe. Let me know your predictions for next week. As I said at the beginning of the video, I was absolutely overwhelmed with the support that I got last time. It'd be great to keep it up, and I love reading through your guys' predictions. So please comment down below. Let me know what you think the scores are going to be for this week's fixtures, and as I said, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more of these uploads. We've got predictions video coming out every week, gonna try and get some more regular FIFA uploads coming up, football vlogs whenever I go, so there's lots to be desired. Back to the video. The next 2 o'clock kickoff on the Sunday is Tottenham at home to Aston Villa. Aston Villa are a team who have found really good form at the start of this season, and Tottenham, who have consistently disappointed with their performances despite picking up 3 wins in their first 3 games, have ultimately found themselves unstuck and have lost their last 3 games, conceding 9 goals overall in those 3 games. Villa, on the other hand, as I say, have been a fantastic side so far this season, managing to beat Manchester United, Everton convincingly, and generally look like a fantastic, well-organised squad. Nuno really needs to get his players working if he wants to try and get a decent result in this, but I don't think that they're going to have the edge to get the win. I think it's going to be a very close game. However, I think Aston Villa are going to just about edge it. I'm going for a 2-1 win to Aston Villa. Sorry, Spurs fans. Sorry, mum. The last 2 o'clock kickoff on the Sunday is a very exciting fixture. It's West Ham at home to Brentford, and I can't see this game providing anything less than goals. Brentford have blown the Premier League away at the start of the season so far, a bit like Leeds did last season, showing a lot of attacking intent, although being a lot more robust at the back than Leeds were last season. West Ham, on the other hand, are outdoing my predictions at the start of the season, and they've carried on their fine form from last season and picked up some very impressive results along the way. This is the first Premier League meeting between these 2 teams, and I think it's going to be one to remember. I'm finding it difficult to try and pick a winner between these 2 sides, so I think I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a 2-all draw. As I said, I think there's going to be goals in this one, but I can't quite pick a winner between the 2 sides. Now, the final game of the game week, the late kickoff on Sunday, is the most exciting one of the lot. It's Liverpool at home to Manchester City. 2 fierce Premier League rivals in the past few years, clashing head to head, and I cannot wait. In the last 5 meetings, there's been 1 draw, 1 Liverpool win, and Manchester City taking the 3 points in the 3 other games. This is another game that's really hard to predict. It's first against second. It's a massive opportunity for either side to try and stake a serious claim for trying to win the Premier League title this season, and I'm finding it really difficult to try and pick a convincing winner out of the 2. Manchester City were fantastic against against Chelsea in our last game, and they arguably dominated the second half of the PSG game, but weren't clinical enough to get the win against PSG. And I think that missing a striker is really going to hurt them this season, especially when you're coming up against Van Dijk and Matip, who are two very solid centre-backs. Even if they play Konate, he's equally as solid as Matip. I'm leaning towards a Liverpool win here, and I do think it is going to be close. I don't think there's going to be loads of goals, but I do think Liverpool are going to edge it 2-0. I think it's going to be more disappointment for Pep, and I think there will be questions asked, but that glaring hole in the Manchester City team of needing a striker is really going to hurt them until they fix that. And they could potentially sign Harry Kane in January, which would fix those problems. But right here and right now, Liverpool look the stronger side out of the two, and I do think that they are going to win this convincingly. 2-0. Right, so that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching as always. As I said earlier in the video, please like, please subscribe. It helps me out, and please do comment your predictions for this weekend's results, because I do enjoy looking through your guys' predictions. The best ones will get a shout out next week, so you know, it's exciting. Get called out by some random bloke on the internet, which is exciting. Show your mum, show your dad. They might be interested. Without further ado anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care. See you in the next one. Peace and love.